Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome you all for the startup session. So as requested last time, if you are able to switch on your videos, that will be really great. It will be easier for us to interact. So we are starting a new series of seminars, which will focus upon the keyword which or the key phrase which we are going to work with is unlocking our happiness within us. That is the key theme. And we'll go through a set of seminars which will help us to do that. Okay, so the primary motive is to understand why there is suffering in the world and how can we be happy, because everybody is looking for happiness, but hardly anybody is getting it. Am I audible clearly? Is my voice clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So if you look around, you'll find that everybody is looking for happiness. There is not a single person in the world, even including animals, who is looking for suffering or who is wanting to suffer. Everybody is struggling to be happy, right? And why is that? That is because that's in our nature to be happy, right? We are Satchidananda, which basically means we have got a property to be happy. That's the property of the soul. And that is why people are looking for happiness, but they're not getting it. Why are they not getting it? That's the whole theme of this entire seminars. And then people have these different misconceptions. Oh, if I get a lot of money, if I get a car, if I get a bungalow, if I get a good job, if I get a high post, if I get good wife, good husband, good children, I'll be happy. But that also is not working. Many people have good wives, good jobs, good children, good husband, good bungalow, everything, but still something is lacking. We can give examples of many great people, many famous people like Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos or Tiger Woods, or so many famous people, right? Now, if they are one of the topmost people in the world who have got a lot of money, they got a lot of fame, they got so much, which a common man would aspire for. Now, if that is the case, why are they indulging in things which a normal man would not indulge, or they are looking for happiness outside? Like some of them had affairs, some of them have problems in their lives, right? Like Michael Jackson, he was such a popular person, he had so much money, people would be mad to be after him. But then why was he looking happiness for being a white instead of a black? People accepted him as a black. The point here is, people are looking for happiness in the wrong place. They do not really know what is happiness or where to look for happiness, right? That's the entire theme which we're going to focus upon. And for example, if you go in the desert and try to find water, you'll not be able to get it, right? That's the entire theme we'll be focusing upon. Obviously, we'll be focusing a lot on aspects which are really required for us to understand this. Like if I tell you in 10 minutes, oh, you'll not be able to find happiness in this world,
problem
and you will be able to get happiness by some other means, then you'll not be able to understand it. You'll have to go through a series of seminars to understand the basics of spirituality. And then after eight seminars, right, we'll be able to grasp why are we suffering, why are the people in this world suffering, right? That is the whole idea of the seminar, right? So again, a request, if you are able to switch on your videos, that will be really good. It will help us to interact properly. So this is an seminars which are going to be interactive. So we'll try to interact as much as we can, so we can make it interesting. Okay, so let me share my screen. We'll start with the topic which says discover inner self. That's the first one. And then we'll talk about the rest of the topics. Okay, so these 8 topics deal with who we are, who is God, why are we suffering, why can't we see God, why are there so many different religions, right, and so on and so forth. And then at the end, we'll talk about how can we really get happiness in this world, how can we really be happy in this world, right? It's a little long journey, but 8 weeks is not really long if you compare to our lives, and it is not long if you consider the amount of output you're going to get. So if you get to know what is real happiness and you're able to get it, then what do we require? That's what we require, right? So a little patience is required. and your sincerity and your eagerness and regularity in attending the sessions will help. Okay. Okay. So today's topic is discover inner self. Right. This information, what we're going to discuss today, can change our lives, can change our perspective in our lives. Right. So what are we going to discuss today? What we're going to discuss today is who are we? Right. So for example, if I ask you the question, who are you? Right. Now, what is the typical answer you're going to get? So you can either unmute yourself and speak up, or you can type it in the chat window. Right. Yes. Any answers? Who are you? किसी को नहीं पता? Yeah. Okay. One answer I got in the chat window. Ritu is saying part and parcel of Lord. Okay. Soul. Prasad is also saying soul. Okay. Good. Tushar Kanti is saying I'm a soul. Good. Okay. Rahul is I'm part of parcel of Krishna's soul. Okay. Good. I think most of you know who you are. There are only 4 people. What about the others? You can also respond. Okay. So I think you got the actual answer which you are looking for. So typically, if you look around people who are not knowledgeable in this area, they will give different answers. They will say, you know, I'm Madhuri, I'm Ritu, I'm Rahul, I'm Uday, I'm Prasad, I'm Priyanka, I'm Tushar Kanti. That's the answer you'll get. Now, if you dig up a little further, saying, okay, that's your name, but what about, you know, who are you actually? That's a name given to you, but who are you? People say, no, then I am a, you know, I am a human. But okay, human. Then what about a human? You know, who are you? So then they give different answers. So if somebody says, I'm a student, I'm a professional, I am a, you know, homemaker, so on and so forth. And they give different answers. So now that's where we are trying to understand who we are. Because unless we understand who we are, how can we find happiness in this life, right? So now, as a driver drives a car, the soul drives the body. That's the paradigm which we are going to look at, and we are going to, you know, find solution to that, right? So now, many people say we are actually this body. What is to be discussed about it? We are this body. What's the point, right? So now we might ask the question, you know, why are we even talking about this? Because even Arjun, when he was in the Kurukshetra, he was confused. Arpanyadosho pahata svabhava prachamitam dharma samudha chetah yachreyashan nishchitam brihitan me shishyastaham shadimam tam prapannam. He's saying, I do not know what to do. I'm confused. My relatives are standing in front of me, and I do not want to kill them, right? My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on the end, my gandiva is, you know, slipping from my hand, and I don't know what to do. So in this particular situation, Arjun was not able to be a normal person. He was normal in the sense that he wanted to be a fighter, wanted to be Kshatriya, but he was not able to be, right? And then Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, and then he became really confident, and he emerged victorious, right? So that's the solution Bhagavad Gita offers us, and it actually helps us to become victorious, right? So why do we give the example of Arjuna? Because we also go through the situation day in, day out. You know, bar we are put into perplexity. You know, ye karo ki ye karo. What should I do? Right? That is where Bhagavad Gita comes to play, and that is why we are talking about it, right? So if you want to become knowledgeable, and he also Krishna gave the knowledge of soul. In the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you'll see the entire knowledge of soul is given as to who we are, right? Krishna talks about nainam chindati shastrani nainam dahati pavakana chainam kliyadantyapo nashoshati marutam. You're a soul which doesn't actually is not killed. It doesn't end when the body ends. It's not matter, so on and so forth. So that's why we are going to discuss this, right? So many times this question comes, oh, am I matter or spirit? What is the proof of you're talking about soul, right? How have you seen soul? Then how do you say we are soul? Then different between living person and robot and mechanism of mind. So we'll talk about this. So there has been a lot of debate about, are we this body or we are soul, right? Like this guy Harry Monson is a professor of anatomy in Illinois College of Medicine. He says our entire body is made up of a lot of chemicals, of calcium, phosphate, potassium, sulfur, sodium, and so on, so much, right? So he claims that our body is nothing but a bunch of chemicals which is worth 110 rupees. Now, how many of you think our body is only worth 110? Obviously not, right? It's much more than that. So I give the analogy, like when we were in the college days, we used to be, performing chemistry experiments. And during chemistry experimentation, we would be playing with the different chemicals, hydrogen, HCl, H2SO4, right? And so on and so forth. And when we are done with the playing with the chemicals, we would throw them in the bin on the wash machine, right? Now, if we were only chemicals, right? If you are only chemicals, would you not cry throwing the chemicals? Arey mera chemical gaya re, hydrochloric acid gaya mera, H2SO4 gaya mera. Would we be not crying? Correct. But then why do we cry when our near and dear ones pass away? Right? If you're only chemicals, we would not cry when our near and dear ones pass away, or we would cry when the chemicals would be thrown in the dustbin or the wash basin. So why do we cry? That's the point. Because we are humans, we are sentient beings who have emotions, who have some, interactions, relationships. We are not just chemicals. Obviously, our body has got some chemicals. Our body can the chemicals hai, mana. But we are not just chemicals. And that's the point. So a lot of people will say this, अरे कुछ नहीं, हम लोग सिर्फ chemicals है भाई. No, you have to answer them कि अगर सिर्फ chemicals होते तो फिर क्यों रोते हो भाई? When we are like this lady, when she was living, she was very beautiful, right? But when she died, you can't even see at her, look at her situation, right? Now they are the same chemicals, दोनों में same chemicals हैं, but when she died, there is no feeling, no thinking, no desiring, no movement, no consciousness. सारी चीजें missing है. Now if somebody says कि नहीं, death means your organs fail and that's why death comes. Okay, if you are saying that way, then why don't you put some chemicals, pump some blood and make the person wake up, make the person alive? नहीं कर सकते ना. That's the point. None of आज तक people have not been able to resurrect one person who has died and make him a living person. ऐसा हो ही नहीं पाया अब तक. Never they have been able to do. Scientists बोलते कि आगे क्या करेंगे, but नहीं कर पाया ना. Which itself means that we are not even this body, not chemicals, but there's something else which is there in the body. That's why the body becomes so heavy after person dies. The body is not interacting. कुछ भी कर लो आप उनके साथ, right? That's the difference we are trying to bring in. Right? Same body है, सब कुछ same है, but the only thing which is missing is the living force, which is the soul. Soul गया, इसलिए person is not able to live. Right? So this picture will tell you that we are transmigrating between different bodies. Right? We take body, we become young, we become old, then we die, then another birth is taking in the mother of another mother, and we can keep on growing, and this cycle keeps on going. Right? How to end this cycle? That is what we'll be discussing in the future sessions. Right? So this is actually a science which we have not been taught in our schools. It was there before, but the Britishers came and took away all the knowledge from the books. That's why we are struggling now. We have to find different courses to understand by kaun hu, right? Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "Na jayate mriyate va kadachan nayam bhutva bhavita vanavu ajo nityo shashvatayam purano na hanyate hanyamani sarire." For the soul, there is neither death nor birth. कभी भी birth नहीं था, कभी भी death नहीं. Which means the soul is transcendental. It is not like matter, right? So what is the difference between body and soul? Let's look at it. Body is matter. Matter means, like, let's say this mobile is a matter. Now, this mobile doesn't speak unless I call somebody, right? But spirit, I am a spirit in this body and I am able to speak because I am a living force. The body is not conscious on its own. On its own conscious नहीं है. इसीलिए when the person dies, आप कुछ भी कर लो body के साथ, it will not react. Whereas the soul will react. It is conscious. Right? The body goes through changes. Like my body is grown up now, 45 years old. I got gray hairs now, right? So it's grown. It changes. Earlier I had black hairs. Now I got gray hairs. Right? Earlier I had a sturdy body in my youth. Now I've got 45 years. It's not as sturdy as it was, right? So it's going through changes. but soul never changes. Body is temporary, soul is eternal. Soul never dies, right? Temporary matlab kya? Yeah, after some years I will be dead, which means body was temporary, right? But the soul never dies. So body dies, soul never dies. That is the difference. Now you might be saying ये सब कुछ पता है हमको और बताओ, right? So we have to. This is the basic philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. We have to get into our heads. Who are we? What is the proof that we are actually a soul? So the body is a machine, like a machine, and the soul is sitting in the heart area and is driving the body, like a driver is driving a car. Right? Similarly, the soul is driving the body. जब तक सोल है बॉडी में तब तक आप चलते रहोगे. जैसे सोल गया, the body is gone. And then who is the other person who is standing besides the body? That's the super soul. परमात्मा जिसको हम बोलते हैं, ईश्वर परमात्मा. He is standing there to guide you. कि भाई इधर जाओ उधर जाओ, right? Unless he guides, you will not be able to do anything. Like when we wake up, before we wake up, the super soul wakes us up. उठो उठो साक्षी उठो, अभी टाइम हो गया, 5 बज गए, उठो पढ़ाई करो, right? So unless the super soul wakes up, we will not be able to wake up, right? That's what the actually role of Paramatma is. उपदष्टा अनुमंता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वर परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो, ऐसे 15 चैप्टर में बताया गया. भगवान the Paramatma is actually guiding us, right? Like that. Material viewpoint क्या है? सारे material bodies हैं. We are just a bunch of chemicals. We'll die in this life, and after that everything is over. सब कुछ खत्म हो जाता है, कुछ नहीं बचे. That's what people see. Everything is finished at the time of death. But what is the spiritual viewpoint? Everybody is a spirit soul who is encaged in this body. We are not this flesh and bones. That is just a covering. जैसे मैंने अभी शर्ट पहना हुआ, right? Similarly, I have got a body which is covering my soul. Soul को cover कर रहा है body. Similar to the way my body is being covered by this cloth. Shirt cover कर रहा है वैसे. Everybody is wearing clothes, so that is covering the body. Similarly, this body is covering the soul. Right? So the question might come कि अरे भाई फिर जो soul दिखता क्यों नहीं है? Because the soul is very, very minute. First of all, it's minute, and it is not material. Like I can see only things which are material. For example, if I give you a microscopic or insect, and let's say amoeba देता हूँ आपको, और बोलता हूँ कि Rahul, you go and see this. I will not be able to see microscope. Or corona बहुत popular है. तो corona दिया तो corona you will not be able to see. You will have to see a microscopic microscope, right? Similarly, if I ask you to look at Jupiter, यहाँ से Jupiter बताओ Jupiter में क्या चल रहा है? अरे कैसे देख पाएंगे, इतना दूर है. It's very, very far. You will need the telescope, correct? You will need telescope to look at objects which are very, very far, and you will need a microscope to look at objects which are very, very minute. Similarly, this soul is very minute and it is not even material. तो आप बोलोगे नहीं, हम लोग एकदम strong microscope build करेंगे. Even that is of no use because this soul is spirit. It is not matter. तो हम matter को देख सकते हैं, soul को देख नहीं सकते. That's the point. So just as a bird is trapped in a cage, similarly the soul is trapped in this body, and this body is made up of 5 elements: water, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Right? That's how it is. Now the problem is the entire world is not aware of this. They are thinking हम लोग शरीर हैं, and they are 24/7 they are after this body. कहाँ enjoy करूँ, कहाँ पैसे मिलेगा, कहाँ गाड़ी मिलेगा, कहाँ बंगला मिलेगा. They are only after the body. That is the real point. You are the soul, you are not the body, but people are after the body. कि मैं कहाँ enjoy कर सकता हूँ? How can I eat more and more? How can you wear very nice clothes? How can मैं अपने body को कैसे decorate करूँ? This is what they are after, which they are not. And for example, if I get food and I offer this food to my cloth, shirt, खाओ बे खाओ, right? Or I go to take a bath and I take a bath with the shirt on, नहा लो भाई, this is all good. So it is foolishness, isn't it? It is foolishness that I am actually doing something to the shirt which I am supposed to do with my body. Similarly, because we are soul, we should be thinking, how can I look at my soul and fulfill what the soul wants. But abhi kya ho raha hai? Abhi, because of our lack of knowledge, we are only thinking of the body and nothing else. That is the problem. And we'll go more in more details about this. So now what is the scientific proof? भाई ठीक है आपने बोल दिया कि सोल है, शरीर नहीं है, वगैरह वगैरह, बट साइंटिफिक प्रूफ क्या है? बोलने के लिए हम कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं, उसमें क्या है? हाँ, सो वी आर गोइंग टू गिव सम साइंटिफिक प्रूफ्स. आप बोलोगे अरे कौन से साइंटिस्ट ने बताया कि ये सोल होता है, बताओ हमको. उसके बिना हम मानते नहीं. क्योंकि आजकल साइंटिस्ट के बिना कुछ मानते ही नहीं लोग. पीपल थिंक कि साइंटिस्ट मतलब सब कुछ पता है. ऐसा नहीं है. many scientists are there who are making fool out of all many people. So we should not believe all the scientists. For example, of some few years back they came up with this God particle. हाँ, हमें God particle मिल गया है. We got something which is actually really basic foundational for everybody. And everybody started, हाँ God particle मिल गया. But किसने देखा है God particle? एक व्यक्ति ने भी देखा है साइंटिस्ट को छोड़ के? नहीं. But everybody is believing. That is also अंधविश्वास, right? Superstition. Because you are believing in something which you are not seen. Right? Similarly, soul we cannot see, but we can look at certain scientific proofs which will help us to understand the soul. So let's look at some common sense proofs. Now, when a person passes away, what do we say? हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग? कोई बोल सकता है हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं हम?
वो चले गए.
वो चले गए. और क्या बोलते हैं?
शरीर, उन्होंने शरीर छोड़ दिया.
उन्होंने शरीर छोड़ दिया. Anybody else? हाँ, मराठी बोल सकते हैं. मराठी में क्या बोलते हैं?
वारले.
ते वारले. ते वारले. What else? English में क्या बोलते हैं?
Passed away.
He passed away. And any other language anybody knows? We can try that as well.
गुजर गए.
गुजर गए. Huh? So now what is the common theme you can see here? The common theme is we are talking about somebody going away. But when you're talking about somebody going away, but that person is just sleeping here only in front of you. If somebody passes away, कोई मर जाता है, वो तो आपके सामने पड़ा हुआ है. बॉडी तो उसके सामने है. तो then why are people saying कि वो गए, गुजर गए, स्वर्गवासी हो गए, कैलाशवासी हो गए, वैकुंठ पधार गए? क्यों ऐसा बोलते हैं? Because even through our common sense language, we are actually talking about the soul passing away from the body. हम उसी की बात कर रहे हैं, but we do not understand it, right? The soul pass हो रहा है, but as a matter of fact we are talking about it, but people are not convinced कि नहीं हम लोग soul body हम लोग. Common sense से हम समझ सकते हैं, right? That's one proof. Second proof is consciousness. एक कैमरा लेके अगर हम कहीं जाते हैं, बगीचे में या कोई सीनरी स्पॉट पे, the camera can also capture whatever our eyes can capture, right? But does it have any emotions? Does it have any memories? Like let's say a old couple remember their younger days when they were roaming in a garden. अरे हम लोग पहली बार यहाँ पे आए थे, तुमने मेरा पहला हाथ नहीं, एक ही हाथ था, दो हाथ थे, तो मेरा हाथ यहाँ पे पकड़ा था, right? तुमने मुझे पहली बार प्रपोज यहाँ पे किया था. So those memories the camera won't have. Camera सिर्फ कैप्चर करेगा और छोड़ देगा. But the people, they have memories, they have thinking, feeling, willing. तो consciousness है, इसको consciousness बोलते हैं, चेतना. कि like for example now you are listening to me, hopefully whatever I am saying, right? So this is consciousness, but I am recording also in this laptop. So the laptop is not listening. If I crack a joke, the laptop is not going to laugh, करके, but you will laugh probably, right? So that is the difference. Consciousness is defined by being able to react, being able to reciprocate. आदान प्रदान करते हैं consciousness, right? Like that. That is consciousness. Third is near death experience or out of body experience. इसका मतलब है there have been cases where some patients went through something called as NDE, near death experience. People actually went through some accidents and they went into something called as coma. तो आपको पता है coma क्या होता है? They went to something called as coma, and coma के बाद during coma they are not able to remember or interact with the people. They just are lying there. कुछ consciousness नहीं है. आप उसको खिलाओ पिलाओ, they are not able to respond. Now, what happens is in some cases the person comes back to life after 2, 3, 4 days after being operated. And in some cases, they are able to remember their past. They're able to remember those 4 days. So I'll give you an example. There's once a small boy. He was going in auto rickshaw, and it was night time, and the auto wala was going really, fast. So he didn't observe, or he didn't notice there was one tempo which was going in front of him, and the tempo was carrying some iron rods. So because he was going fast, he didn't observe, and he just bumped on the tempo, and the iron rods actually pierced through the front window of the auto, and it went and hit in the chest of the small boy who was sitting in the auto in the back. Itna bada tha wo. Aap soch itna bada accident hua. And the iron rod went आर पार through the body. So the boy became unconscious. उसको hospital ले गए. He was still unconscious. Iron rod निकाला. He was operated. 2-3 दिन तक he was unconscious. After that he came back to consciousness. Now यहाँ तक तो ठीक है. But after this, the boy started narrating things which the doctors couldn't actually believe. The boy said, when you're operating on the first day, this is what you are speaking about me. When you're operating, when I was in this operation theater, these people came to me. He was able to narrate everything in the last 3 days. Now, if the boy was unconscious, he was not able to interact, react, kuch bhi nahi kar pa raha, so how is he able to, narrate the incident which happened in the last 3 days? That's because the soul of the boy was floating in the same room. 2-3 din tak. Like this in this picture you can see. And he was able to observe everything. He was able to hear everything. Right? And that's how he was able to narrate everything. And then the soul came back in the body. So you might ask, Yare, why did the soul come back in the body? Because in some cases, the person is not supposed to die at that point of time. That's why the soul comes back in the body. And he starts living again. Right? That's called out of the body experience or near death experience. His death was very close, but he didn't die. Because uska samay nahi aaya tha. Like that. So he did not die. And that's how, that's what called as the NDE. Now, this is not a rare case, kabhi to hota hai, ekad hota hai. No, there are so many cases. 11 to 14% of American population go through NDE or OBE. It is not a rare incident. It is 11 to 14%. And this is coming from medical journals. ऐसे में कोई statistic नहीं दे रहा हूँ. Right? So this is a very, very strong proof that the soul exists. Right? And there is so much of research done on it. So much research, many research, right? You can see so many books have been written, and these are authentic books. ऐसा कुछ फर्तुस books नहीं है कि जिसके ऊपर हम believe नहीं कर सकते. These are authentic books which are talking about near-death experience, right? Okay, so this is one very strong proof. Then there is reincarnation. So Ian Stevenson, a professor of psychiatry in University of Virginia, he has done extensive investigation on more than 3,000 cases of spontaneous reincarnation memories. मतलब क्या? कि he saw that a person is able to recall his past life memories. That's called reincarnation. उसको याद आ रहा है सब कुछ. क्या-क्या उसने किया है पिछले जन्मों में. Right? So he is able to recall. This is how it is, right? So I will just talk about a few of them. So even in reincarnation, there have been so many cases, so many books have been written. Now, do you think all of them are farce? सब लोग झूठ लिख रहे? No, many of them are true, because we do take birth again. We do take birth again. We go through the cycle of birth and death, right? Now, then why is that we are not able to remember our past lives? मुझे तो याद नहीं था बचपन में, अभी भी याद नहीं है. इस जन्म का याद नहीं है तो पिछले जन्म को क्या याद आ रहा है? We are not able to remember even this life's things. What do we remember our past lives? So why does it happen only with few people? That's the question we cannot answer. The only answer is that God wanted to implant some proof so that we can agree that there is soul. That's why we have this, reincarnation. So now I'll narrate a few incidents later. So that's one proof. Another proof is phobias. Some people have got a phobia of water. Some people have got phobia of knife. Some people have got phobia of dark. Some people have got phobia of height. So ये phobia कहाँ से आया? The phobia is because of some memories in the past. Like my younger daughter, she's very scared of dark. Right? Whenever it is night, she says, "Papa, kulip law takle na, block केलं ना." So she's very scared. Why? Because she's probably had some incident in the past lives because of which she is scared. Right? Similarly, somebody would have gone through a death in this past life, and that's why she's afraid of something. That's called phobia. Like I got a friend of mine who is never boarded a flight. He's never boarded a flight because he's got height phobia. He cannot look at height from top. Nor can he drive fast. Even people who can walk, he can overtake while he's driving. So the point here is, phobias are not from this life. Phobias are from past lives. Right? So that's another proof. Right? Another is twins. Now you might say twins mein kya hai? Now if twins are there, correct, then both the children are coming from the same mother, same father. So it's basically a single egg which is split. So both of them should be the same. So Ram or Shyam or Sita or Gita kyun hai? Which means both of them are totally different. Right? Both they might look same, but their characteristics are totally different. Somebody is very aggressive, somebody is very polite. Some like something, some doesn't like something. So dono ka characteristic total alag hai. Whatever happens in their lives is totally different. How is that? Temperament is different. Whatever they're doing is different. Their likes, dislikes are different. सब कुछ अलग है. ऐसा क्यों? Because both of them are different souls. एक soul नहीं है वो. अलग-अलग soul है. अलग-अलग अपना कर्मा लेके आएंगे. That is why it is different. Right? That's the proof. Now there is a. Let me see if I can play this. It's very interesting. I think I should be able to. Let me know if you're able to. Okay, I'll need to stop my pause because I have not shared it with audio. This is a TED video, very interesting. So just watch this.
They have the same name.
Are you able to hear the sound?
Looks. James M. Houston,
Yes.
raised in the Midwest. James M. Leininger, a young boy from the Bayou.
Whoa! There's something in the eyes. It's undeniable.
That's not all they share.
Somehow James Houston's spirit has affected my son, either through reincarnation. I don't know how it happened.
Every night he slept with his G.I. Joe action figures, which he named. Bouncing about in the cockpit, James was flying high. That night, their world would change forever.
He started having the nightmares, and that was my first indication that there was something wrong. It was a panic-stricken, terrorized screaming.
Over and over again, James had the same terrible nightmare, 4 to 5 times a week. He was too young to explain the dream, but he could draw.
Bombing ships, you see men parachuting. Here's another one where planes are dropping bombs.
Help me. He would just be crying. He'd say, airplane crash on fire, little man can't get out. He laid on his back and kicked up at the ceiling, and he goes, Mama, the little man's going like this. And he laid on his back and kicked his feet up. The little man's going, ooh, 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 can't get out. And I said, well, who's the little man, baby? And he goes, me. I thought Bruce and I were just going to faint.
They questioned, what kind of plane?
Corsair.
Why did your airplane crash?
My plane was shot down.
Who shot your plane?
He looked at me like I was a village idiot. He said,
The Japanese. I kept thinking, where is he getting this? I was a stay-at-home mom, so I know that there wasn't anything that he was being exposed to.
Not exposed to in this life, but perhaps, just maybe, somebody else was. Decades earlier, James Houston grew up with the same insatiable fascination with airplanes. He became a naval fighter pilot and fought in World War II. March 3rd, 1945, during a mission near Iwo Jima, he took a direct hit. At age 21, was declared missing and presumed dead.
where did he take off from a boat?
Do you remember the name of your boat? He said Natoma.
Found several thousand hits on the word Natoma.
The USS Natoma Bay launched into battle, headed for Iwo Jima in the fight for Leyte Gulf.
It's the biggest naval battle in the history of the world.
Leo Pyatt served on the ship. From his home in Ohio, he organizes the Natoma Bay reunions, That's how Bruce found him.
I wanted to disprove it.
He asked a few questions about, did I know some of the people? Oh yeah, I remember those people. And so he got very quiet.
It was all real. The people and places James described actually existed. And remember those G.I. Joe dolls that James named? Turns out 3 men with the same names, first and last, served on the Natoma and were killed in action. James said they greeted him in heaven after his crash.
I'd always asked him, do you remember what your name was? And he always said James. But his name is James.
Yes, there was a Jim Houston, a rather large shell, just hit him in the engine, and it burst into flames and went down.
They showed Leo the drawings.
He was right on the nose. I'm sure, in my mind, that he was there.
Leo invited James, now 3, to the reunion. James recognized several pilots, even called them by name.
You're Bob Greenwald. I'm serious.
And he'd never met Bob Greenwald?
No, he'd never met him before.
And someone else was invited. James Houston's sister, Ann.
And he goes, it's not Ann, it's Annie. She wasn't my oldest sister. I had an older sister than that. And I said, you did? Who was that? And he goes, Ruth. I mean Ruth.
Eddie is what they called me when I was little, knowing my name and my sister's name, things that my brother did when he was a kid. It's too amazing to describe how he would feel that way, but he does. He considers me his sister.
But does she consider James her brother?
I think it's probably a reincarnation of my brother.
Suzanne Stratford, Fox 8 News.
Right. So what you see here is a clear case of reincarnation. And there are so many such cases, which actually point us that this this boy was born earlier and he died in a plane crash. Right. Similarly, there are so many other examples. This is another example where this lady was born as a small baby, Shukla Gupta, and she remembered her past lives. She was able to remember where she's from, and she was able to exactly take her new parents to the old house and point out who her husband was, who her father-in-law was, who her mother-in-law was, everything. So like these more than 3,000 cases Ian Stevenson has actually investigated and is found out that these people are saying the truth. It is not just a farce. It is not something they are just making out for publicity. There's so many cases, more than 5,000 cases which we know of, right, which have been documented, proven, and they have been able to actually narrate the proper incidents. So what does it show? It basically shows that these children were able to remember their past lives, which is basically that the same person took another birth. So it's not very surprising if you know the science of soul from Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita says you are a soul, you take many, many births again and again. And why do we take birth again and again? That's something which is the topic of discussion in the next few sessions. But the point here is we are a soul. If you are not a soul, how would you take birth again? How do you explain this? How would the child able to remember a past lives? Right? So that is the point which we are trying to drive here. Right? So this is the house which you talked about, and this is the name of the parents and earlier. Right? Now let's see what do the scientists say about this. Right? Benjamin Franklin says, finding myself to exist in this world, I believe I shall in some shape or other always exist. He's saying I will always exist like a soul. John Adams says, those souls who revolted against God were placed here to transpirate to various species of animals, birds. Socrates, I am confident that there truly is such a thing as living again, and the living spring from the dead. Right? So this is what the scientists are saying. Although we might say, oh, this is all religious farce and this and that, scientists also given the same answer. Right? So let's look at a difference between a living person and a robot. Right? So we talked about this. If somebody says, oh, we're just a powerful computer, why should we even talk about a soul? So I take the example of a drama recorded by camera and a drama observed by some judges. Right? So if there is an emotional scene, if the actors are crying or laughing or they're dancing, they're happy, the judges will be able to express the emotion. They'll be able to experience those emotions. But the camera will not be. The camera is just going to capture the emotions, they capture the actual picture, but they don't have any emotions, no experience, no consciousness. If there is a joke being cracked, the judges will laugh. If there's a scene of crying, the judges will feel it. Right? So that's the difference between a robot and a actual living person. Right? Somebody might say, "Oh, this is just a complex machine that gets worn out and crashes. Why should we bother about the soul?" But then, if you ask the question, if you keep two computers besides each other, and do you think you'll get another computer? No, obviously not. Right? If I keep this mobile and my wife's mobile together, do I think I'll get another mobile immediately? No. So for us to actually reproduce, it has to be two human beings or two animals, right? Two living beings to reproduce. Similarly, a living being goes through 6 changes, whereas matter just is produced and it is dead. It dies after some time. Right? The soul is the one which is actually making the body live. Right? That's the difference between a living being and a dead body. Right? Like that. So a living body goes through 6 changes. I'll talk about it after this. A male and female species or a living being produces another offspring. Right? And the living body has got consciousness, thinking, feeling, willing. Whereas matter doesn't. Like mobile doesn't talk. Mobile doesn't actually speak. Right? Like that. So what are the 6 changes? Birth, I take birth, I grow. I was a small child earlier, now I have become a big person. Maintenance, I have to maintain my body. I produce some offsprings, I've got some kids. I dwindle, I become old. Dwindling means old, right? And then I die. So these are 6 changes a living being go through, but not the matter. Matter is created, it is destroyed. No growth, no maintenance, no byproducts, no dwindling, right? Only birth and death. That's it. Where's the difference? Okay, now, okay, this mechanism of mind we'll discuss sometime later, but I'll just talk about these 3 aspects of the body. So our body is made up of 3 aspects. One is our gross body, which we can see, the hands, the nose, the eyes, and this. The subtle body, which is the mind, intelligence, and the ego. Mind, intelligence, and the ego. We have mind, we have intelligence, but we can't see it. We have false ego. I am Sakshi, I am Vageshwari, I am Kunal, I am Prasad. We have this ego, but we cannot see it, right? Similarly, mind we cannot see. Mind had got a lot of thoughts. You get some positive thought, negative thoughts, but we can't see. That's a subtle body because it's very, very subtle. Subtle means sukshma, subtler than air, subtler than water. This is the mind, intelligence, and ego. And the soul is the innermost portion which we can see, which is basically Sat Chit Ananda, eternal, knowledgeable, and blissful. So we have one covering which is subtle body on the soul, another covering which is the gross body. Right? So gross body is used to interact on a gross basis, but then through the subtle body, the soul drives the gross body. The soul provides the energy, and the subtle body and the gross body run the body. Right? So that's why when the soul passes away from the body, the gross body and subtle body are not able to live. Unless the soul is there, the body is not able to live. That's the whole point. Right? Now you might say, "Fir subtle body kyun hai?" Subtle body is there for various purposes. Like when a soul goes from one body to another after death, the subtle body is also carried away. That is why we are able to remember our past lives. Some of them. You might ask, "Fir sabko kyun nahi hai?" Because if we remember our past lives, then our life will become very complicated. We can't even remember this life. Many times we say, "Isko kahan dekha tha? Iska naam kya hai?" We forget. Right? Even in this life, we forget. Imagine what will happen if we remember our past millions of lives. No? So maybe in one life, Sakshi would have killed me. I would think, "Hey, Sakshi, tune mujhe mara tha, main tumhe is baar marunga." So all that, past times or our, memories will come, and then we will not be able to live. So in order for us to live a peaceful life, God has not provided. In some cases, He's doing it so that we can have some proof. Otherwise, I would not have anything to show to you today, right? So that's why God gives us some people who have got this past life memories, right? Okay, so this part I'll talk about next time, some other case. So this mind is made up of 5 senses, which is, eyes, nose, right, ear, touch, and tongue. And the reins of the body, reins of the horses, lagam, is the mind. The person who is driving, the driver, is intelligence. And the person who is sitting in the back of the chariot is the soul, right? So this is how it looks like. The soul is supposed to tell the intelligence ki idhar jana hai. Intelligence is supposed to drive the horses through the mind. But what is happening is the soul is not able to tell the intelligence. Abhi ke case mein. Intelligence is not able to tell the mind, and the mind has totally lost it. Right. So we'll just talk about it in more details in the future session. But this is a good picture to understand how this takes care of, how this, this different hierarchies work, right? In terms of soul, the intelligence, mind, and the senses. Okay. And okay, so this part we'll cover later. The mind part we'll cover later. Okay, so far any questions? This was more talking about the mind part, which we'll talk later. Okay, so now you might say, what is the what is the benefit of understanding the soul? ठीक है भाई, सब आत्मा आत्मा है, तो उसका फायदा क्या है हमको? You might say कि इसका फायदा क्या है? पहले तो मुझे पता था कि मैं शरीर हूँ, अभी मैं पता है कि सोल हो जो मैं देख नहीं सकता हूँ. I knew I am a body, but now I have come to know I have a soul, which I cannot see. तो क्या फायदा उसका? There is a lot to learn from this. What is that? First one is, if we understand we are a soul, we are basically all part and parcel of Krishna, God, right? So that understanding comes immediately. Universal brotherhood. We'll not fight ki ye Pakistani hai, ye American, ye Talibani hai, ye wo. No, we'll all know everybody is coming from the same God, right? And then people will be happy. So there will be no divide between Hindu, Muslim, white, black, right? Rich, poor, educated, illiterate, beautiful, ugly. This is all coming because we do not know we are the body, we are the soul. We're thinking I'm the body. अरे मैं तो गोरा हूँ, वो काला है, मैं तो इंडियन हूँ, चाइनीज है, मैं तो इंडियन हूँ, पाकिस्तानी है, मैं तो ये हूँ, मैं फलाना वालाना हूँ. This is all our superficial coverings, right? Which are coming because we are thinking I am the body. As soon as you know you are a soul who is part and parcel of God, and you take different bodies, you take different births, the designations go away, right? No more a white person or a beautiful person is going to consider, "Arey, मैं beautiful हूँ, you are not this body only, na? You are a soul. So what is that to do with the body?" Right? Like that. Second is, yeah, it will unite all of us from different walk of the life. Second is rising above inferiority complex, right? Imagine I am black, or I am short, I am, mota hu main, right? Obese. But because I now understand I am not this body, it doesn't matter, and I'll not be very body conscious. Right? I'll not be thinking too much about the body. Thoda bahut theek hai, but I should not be thinking too much about it. Right? That is what it will help us. I'll be more soul conscious, which is what my eternal identity is. Right? I'll not be body conscious. We'll have a positive outlook to life. For example, some people say life is like an ice cream. Enjoy before it melts. Baba, ek hi life hai, enjoy karo. Which means they want to do anything and everything to enjoy. But now, considering that I am a soul which is not going to die, I'm going to take birth again, and my next birth is dependent upon this life, whatever I'm doing. In that case, I'll be very responsible. I'll think, "Arey nahi, maine kuch galat nahi karna chahiye. If I do something wrong, I'm going to get a next birth where I have to suffer." Action and reaction are equal and opposite, right? So I will not be selfish. I will be selfless. I will not do cheating. This all will come only when I understand I am a soul. I'm not the body. Right? As long as I'm thinking कि कोई बात नहीं, एक ही life है, enjoy करना है, जो करना है करो, that will not bring the attitude, right? Instead of blaming others, we'll be very tolerant, patient. All those good habits, good qualities can come in only if we understand the knowledge of soul, right? We'll use the right resources, right? So we'll not kill others, we'll not kill animals, will not kill, or will not even harm others, because we are a soul who is part and parcel of the God. So why should I be, killing others? Like there is a father or mother, both parents are there, and they got, 10 children, let's say. Now, if one children wants to kill another children, do you think the parents will be happy? No, they will not be happy at all, because all 10 children are equal to for the father and mother. Similarly, if we kill animals or if we kill another person, God will not be happy. This understanding will come when we actually are soul conscious. When we understand we are a soul, not that we are a body, right? Like that. Okay, so in summary, I'm not matter, I'm spirit, right? I am, scientifically, it has been proven with many, many proofs. We talked about common sense, consciousness, NDEs, OBEs, reincarnation. We talked about difference between living person and robot, right? Like camera versus judges, 3 differences between living body and robot, and 6 changes. And we talked about mechanism of mind. So all these basically point out to a living force which is in our body, which is driving us every day. रोज हमें drive कर रहा है, right? And basically it will help us to understand this, right? That's the existence of the soul through these proofs. Okay, so we'll stop here. If there are any questions, we'll take. Any questions? Okay, Prasad has got a question. Would like to know how this soul mind information will lead to unlock happiness, or is it too early to ask? Yeah. So before we understand how we can be happy, we need to understand who we are. For example, if I am thinking, if there's a pig, the pig goes in the sewage and eats and drinks in the garbage. The pig is thinking, this is very, this is very nice. I get to eat stool, I get to eat garbage. So he's thinking I am happy. A drunkard is happy when he drinks and he's lying on the road. So happy. That is actually not happiness. So if you have to really understand what is happiness for the soul, or what is real happiness, you have to understand who we are first of all. That is what we talked about today. So I am a soul and I'm not this body. That's the basic understanding. So then we'll talk about who is God. Then we'll talk about what is my relationship with God. Then we'll talk about why are we suffering in this world. For understanding happiness, I need to know why are we suffering. Right? Then we'll talk about, okay, if God is there, I am there, why can't I see God? All those questions will lead us to the point which will help us to understand what is real happiness. Because now we are actually looking at the wrong happiness. Galat happiness hum dhoond rahe hain. Us pig ki tarah, us bewde ki tarah, we are looking at the wrong happiness. And that's why we're not happy. But when we understand this knowledge, and then we understand that what is real happiness, then we can seek the real happiness. That is what I'm call about unlocking the happiness within you. We cannot find happiness outside. आप कितना भी पैसा कमा लो, आप कितना भी बड़ा बन लो, कितना भी गाड़ी ला लो, कुछ भी करो, you will not be really happy. Everybody is suffering in this world. किसी को भी पूछो. Only that they will not accept it. That's the point. But they are suffering, right? Like that. Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
Sir, is there any relation between our past lives and dreams?
Yes, definitely, Sakshi. So whatever dreams we are getting, it's because of our past lives, our current lives, and whatever we do. The dreams are basically what we do in our daytime. For example, if you are in front of the TV in the daytime and 8 hours you're watching only movies, let's say horror movies, 8 ghanta. So in the dream also you will get a horror, like that. So similarly, our dreams, sometimes you might think, "Arey, random dream kuch to aa raha hai." Sakshi is with one of her friends who usko naam bhi nahi pata, and she's grooming with him or her, whatever it is. And she's thinking, "Ye kahan se aa gaya?" This is coming from our past lives. Ye life ka nahi hai. Is that okay, Sakshi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So one question, and I'll ask the question, and then we can end. So if we are soul, we are not this body. Why are not people able to realize this? What is that thing which is not allowing them to realize that they are a soul? So the answer is yes, due to ignorance. Very nice, Rahul. Due to ignorance, illusion. We are under the illusion, right? So, for example, we are going in the night on the road, and then you see from the far away there is one, snake which is hanging through a pole. But then when you go closer and you switch on the light, you'll see it is a rope. You took the rope to be a snake. Similarly, we are thinking, I am this body, right? Even though I tell you are a soul, you're a body, but my body, because I'm under illusion. Right? So that's why we are actually not able to understand this. But when we go closer and closer in this knowledge, then we'll understand, oh, I'm not this body, I'm a soul. And then we can go deeper and deeper into this, right? So this is a very fundamental knowledge which Bhagavad Gita gives, and which will help us to actually gain more and more knowledge and be more and more happy. Because the soul's happiness is the real happiness, Satchidananda. The happiness of the body is temporary. If I eat gulab jamun today or laddu today, right, only while I'm eating, I'll be happy. एक बार पेट में गया तो क्या happiness गया ना? Next till the next time I eat gulab jamun or laddu. Similarly, any happiness we are seeking in this body is temporary. सब कुछ temporary, you know. But the soul can give you permanent happiness because it is Satchitananda. It is eternal, knowledgeable, and blissful. Eternal मतलब कि कभी खत्म नहीं होता happiness. That's the real happiness we're talking about. Okay, thank you so much.